Okay, so we're going to start seated. We're going to warm up our spine, but we're going to get going quick. So just have the ball somewhere where you can have it handy, okay? And we'll start with our hands behind our knees, and you can use your arms today. We're going to use our arms a lot today. So I'm going to have you take your inhale, seated on those sitting bones, shoulders over your hips. We're going to exhale, but I want you to pull against the knees with the hands as you pull the ribs back, pull the belly back, get that big stretch, and then lengthen, grow taller, make sure those ribs are pulling in, shoulders are down. Exhale. So depress those shoulders, pull through. Pull is not a good word. Pressure on the back of the knee. And only put as much, and come up to a nice long spine. Only use the hands as much as you feel like you want to, but don't let those shoulders come up yet as you're drawing. Exhale as you curl. Pull the ribs back, pull the belly to the spine. Lengthen, here's your last one. Curl it back. And lengthen it up. We're going to come to a seated position, just keeping the ball handy. One leg crossed in front of the other. I'm going to put the ball right here. That'll be safe. Okay, sit up nice and tall. We're going to cross our legs if you feel like you can, or bent knees is fine. And we're going to rotate around. So remember the rules. I just go from the crown of my head down to my sitting bones. I grow taller and lengthen my neck. I press my shoulders down. I'm going to just stay here breathing. And I'm going to come back through center. Switch the cross of my legs so we're balanced. Arms are going to come long out beside you. Let's rotate opposite. So I'm going to push into that knee or that leg with my hands. And I'm kind of walking my other hand behind me. And then I'm going to lengthen my spine, lengthen my neck, pull my shoulders down, and bring it back center. We're going to curl ourselves over. So I want the shoulders to stay over the knees. And then you can straighten your legs out if you want. We're going to walk our hands out. We'll just get that stretch. So as you're here, my ball is so perfect where it is. I love it. It's really nice. So it's really depressing my ribs back, so it's kind of nice and it's really squishy. And then tuck the chin, walk the hands back. And we're going to start our work. Woo-hoo! All right. The ball is going between the knees. We are going to be trying to work our inner thighs throughout our class today and our arms. Okay, so you're going to curl yourself back halfway. I want you to feel like you're tipped off those sitting bones. So those are now pointed opposite. To draw that belly in. As we lift and curl up, I want you to squeeze into the ball. Don't pull on the hands this time. Lengthen. Curl it back. So my hands are just in a resting place. We'll add some movement. Squeeze as you come up. So when I turn on this inner thigh connection, I get a lower belly and a ab connection. If you're squeezing. So inhale back. Squeeze as hard as you can as you curl yourself up. Release that squeeze. We're going to go for 3. No squeeze as you curl. Now push into the ball with the knees as you come up and then release that squeeze. Curl it back. And squeeze. We're going to curl down to where we land on our elbows, okay? So I want you to reach the arms forward. Come back as far as you feel comfortable. And you're going to place the hands or forearms, palms down on the mat. Bring the knees to a tabletop. You're going to keep that pelvis still as you inhale, dip the toes down. Exhale, draw them up. Inhale. So I'll add the squeeze in a minute. Exhale. So no tipping back and forth on the pelvis. Your pelvis is stable. You're almost in a neutral. Your shoulders are down, so your chest is not sinking. And let's add that squeeze. And then the release as we lower. Squeeze as we bring it up. Inhale, dip. Squeeze, exhale. Release as you inhale. Spine is staying long. Neutral. Last 2. And last one. Hold it here. You're in tabletop. You're going to press into the palms. Lift the elbows. Tip up. Toes come down. You're going to roll it down. Exhale, trying to keep that spine nice and neutral. Inhale, roll it down. Exhale, let's squeeze into the ball, static hold of the squeeze. Press it up. Use those triceps, push into the palms as you come up. So for 5, getting my triceps a little bit here. Okay. This is for Phyllis. And 3, shoulders are pulling down. And here's 2, try not to rock like I just did. I was rocking. And last one, hold it here. Hold, hold, hold. Push into those palms. Pull the belly deeper. Squeeze into that ball. Hold it. And roll it down and relax. I'm going to have you take that ball. We're going to place it right between the shoulder blades. Almost that like middle of the shoulder blade area or between the shoulders. You'll figure out where you like it. We're going to add extension. So knees are bent, flat feet on the floor, hip distance. Hands go behind the head. And then all I want you to do here is make sure those ribs stay pulling down toward the floor, but don't let the spine curl down. So make sure you have that neutral spine. Pelvis is not going to move. Inhale as you go up and over the ball. Keep those ribs tight, pulling together as you exhale, lift, looking through the thighs. Inhale, extend over, wide elbows. Exhale, draw it up and remember you're light in your head. I want you to feel like you're lifting up and over the ribs, but the ribs are not opening. And if you feel as you go over, those ribs start to open, hold them together and don't go back so far. For 5. And no lifting of, or no pulling on that head. Elbows are staying wide. And here's 3. And up and over, light in the head, 2. And 1, we're going to add something to it. We're going to draw our right knee in toward our left elbow. Now I want you to curl the spine, reach that elbow to the outside of that knee, cross it over the center line of the body, and then come center, place that foot down, and we'll switch. So now I'm drawing my left knee into my right elbow. Inhale, extend, find that neutral. Curl, curl, curl as you alternate. And curl, knee pulls to opposite elbow. Trying to stay with that ball right underneath or right in the center of those shoulder blades. Exhale. Go for 2 each side. I'm starting on my right leg. And that's set number 2. And here's your last one. Hopefully you're feeling it. And last one on the left. And relax. So if you want to adjust that ball, let your chest open up. Roll over it wherever it feels good. You can let those ribs pop open now if you want. Reach those arms out. And we're going to reach our arms up to the ceiling. Roll ourselves up. Nice and slow. Use your hips to move. And bring that ball back. There. We're going to get into our C curve. We're going to keep the squeeze on the ball. Okay, so you're tall. Your sitting bones are connected. You're going to take that inhale, exhale, curl it back, squeeze that ball and keep that squeeze. Reach those arms forward. Shoulders are down. Big, big, deep curl here. And we're going to rotate. Hands are going to reach down to the left side. And then they're coming center. And then we're going to the right. Keep your squeeze on that ball. Let's inhale as we rotate. Exhale as we find our center. I don't know, the ball makes this so different. All I have to say. It gives me this deeper connection to my lower part of my abs. I hope you guys feel that. And I'm stalling while I'm talking. Taking your mind off. Squeeze one more to the left. And hold it here. Sorry. You're going to do figure 8s. You're going to squeeze that ball. So you're going to start like you did. Now circle the arms up. Come down through center and you're drawing a figure 8 or an infinity sign and you're squeezing into that ball. And inhale, squeeze. Exhale, I love it. Oh, yeah. I just so squeezed. I had a lot of motivation today. I don't know where it came from. Here's your last one. Woo. And curl up. Beautiful job, you guys. still use it. If you want to place it somewhere between the legs, that's right good too. If you want. Let's extend those legs long. Sit up nice and tall. I'm going to reach for my toes as I pull my belly back. So it's that oppositional. I'm going to pull my toes. If you're flexy, your hands to the shin. Flex those toes. Let the head drop. Pull that belly away from the feet. Ribs pulling back. And then hands are going to start to reach forward. We're going to rebuild our spine. Stack it up. Reach those arms long. Sit up nice and tall. Flex those feet. We'll curl it down. Remember this part. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Oh, Rebecca, I'm thinking about you. And arms up overhead, and I hope you're still getting your roll-ups and roll down. Pull the ribs back, arms reach for the ceiling. Tuck that chin, flex those feet. And when you work your abs, it's going to get harder. Reach, reach, reach forward. Pull the ribs back. And rebuild the spine. Stack it up. Okay, so we're going to some more ab fun. Ball between the ankles. Gosh, I really did coordinate. You did. All right, so we're going to sit up nice and tall. Reach those arms forward. Curl yourself back. Set those shoulders down. Your chin or your jaw, and then elbows down. Bring those legs to tabletop. Here we go. All right. So remember, no slumping in the spine or dropping the chest. Okay, I'm watching you, guys, not you. Okay, squeeze into the ball. You're in your tabletop. I'm going to have you extend your legs up, lower them down. Only go as far as you can keep control of your ribs and your spine. This does not have to be big to work. And remember, if you're feeling low back, just don't go as low. Okay. Sometimes my back can kick in, and I think about everyone else and their backs. So remember, chest is lifted. You're lowering, trying to keep those legs mirroring each other. You've got a little squeeze on the ball, and we're trying to keep our spine stable. Let's go one more in this direction. Oh, yeah, we gotta reverse it. And pause here. Lift those legs up. Now tabletop. Reach them out. Float them up. They don't have to come up as high as you may when you're laying down flat on the floor. So don't worry about the height as the legs extend up. Let's go for 4. Pull the ribs back. Long, long length in the neck. And here's 2. Squeeze the ball. And last one. And come up. Roll it down. Take a break. Oh, yes, we're going to bridge to release. So ball is going to go toward one side of you so you know where it is. Hands are going to come long beside you. And you can open up those arms a little bit or rotate palms up. I like my palms up. You're going to get nice and comfy on the mat. So if we had any tension in the spine, and you should feel something there, those muscles have to work too. So we're just going to imprint the spine with our breath as we exhale. And go ahead and let that pelvis tip back. Really push the spine into the mat. And then inhale, release. And exhale. And inhale, we'll go for 2. So really hold that kind of belly pulling down to the mat, ribs pulling down to the mat, and then release it. Here's your last one. Exhale. I used to think these were so dumb. And then I was like, oh my God, they feel so good. Okay, I am going to start you out with your bridge. We're going to go for 4, even though I put up 3 fingers. Wait for 4. Arms are wide. Take that inhale. Exhale, start with that big imprint. Pelvis tips back. Push down into the floor. Reach those knees over the toes as you roll yourself up. Check in with the hips. We're going to stop. Exhale, roll it down. So soften the ribs. Let the back side of the ribs touch first, one by one, and then feel every vertebrae going down. Make it slow. Don't rush through it. So here's what I see. The roll up is always great for most people, and it's the roll down where people get glitchy. So you're going to exhale as you roll it down. Keep those knees reaching over the toes. You'll feel a longer maybe stretch in the spine, maybe more glutes. Let's go up 2, exhale. Squeeze those glutes. Pull the belly away from the hips. Really tighten that belly. roll it down. And when you get to the bottom of the ribs, really tuck deeper. That's where I see people kind of give it up. At that point, it's just a flop the pelvis down. Here's your last one. Knees over the toes. Get yourself organized. Arms are relaxed. Shoulders are nice and open. You've got that little tuck to the chin. We are going to make sure that we do not let our hips drop, or try to anyway. You're going to shift weight over toward the right foot. We're going to bring our left to a tabletop. We're going to extend it, reach those toes to the ceiling, lower half, and press up. Inhale as you lower, exhale, lift. So I want you pushing down into the foot that's on the floor. 3. And here's 2. Hold it up. We're going to lower that leg down as we lower the pelvis down halfway. Now circle that leg out to the side and up, press into the foot, lift. Lower the pelvis, lower the leg, sweep it out to the side. As the leg comes back toward the body, you press down into the foot that's on the floor and hold it here. We're going to switch. Out at the top, circle out, down, press it up. There's 3. Hold. And 2. And last one. Press up, hold it, tabletop, put that foot down. Reorganize if you need to. Stretch it, roll it out. Okay, we're going to roll up again. Nice and slow. We'll stretch after this. All right, so hips are nice and high or level. So knee to hip to shoulder is kind of what you're going for. If you don't feel low back, shifting weight over to the left, because I really want to take it out of the right anyways. Bring the right to tabletop. Extend it to the ceiling. Make sure those hips try to stay level as you lower half. Press up, reach the toes straight up to the ceiling. So the leg is staying straight up to the ceiling. Don't let it dip down. 5, push down into that stabilizing foot. 4, there's 3. And pushing down 2 and hold it up. Pause here. Leg is going to lower as the pelvis lowers. That hip can tip, by the way, at this point. Circle it up, press up. Lower inhale, circle it around. Exhale, squeeze it up. 2. Last one. In this direction, pause. Circle out at the top, lower the pelvis. Press right up through center. And you got 2 more. Oh, yes. Woo. And last one. Tabletop the leg, place that foot down. Reorganize if you want to. Shift weight, distribute equally between the feet. Reach the knees, over the toes, hold it here. Hands are going to go up and overhead. I want you to reach those fingers away from those heels, or those toes, and roll it down. And pull your knees into your chest. Rocking side to side. That quick little glute chicken thing, whatever. Okay, let's place one foot down on the floor. We're going to extend the other leg. You pick the leg you want. Draw the leg in. So remember, it's always kind of, I think, oppositional for me. So I'm pressing my hip to the floor as I draw that leg in. And breathe. So while you're here, and if you have any tension in that hamstring, I really want you to try to relax the hamstring. Okay? Breathe into it, and then flex that foot. Maybe now you feel your calves. And we're going to bend that knee, bend that leg, place it on the floor, switch side. So draw that opposite knee in. Extend it up. And go wherever it feels good for you, where you feel that stretch. Pressing that hip down or pressing it away. Draw that leg a little closer. You're going for trying to keep that pelvis still and on the floor, not tipping back. And then flex to the foot. If you like to walk the hands up, you can. And we are going to extend those legs. Reach those hands up to the ceiling. Remember, if you need assistance to roll yourself up, the elbows can come down. Take your inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Reach for those toes like that. Did I hear something crack on you? Nice. Okay, so this is always fun because we're going to hit the lower abs. Okay, so you have to find the perfect place for your ball. It's going under your pelvis. Okay. So ball under the pelvis. To get the ball under, just get into your bridge position, press the pelvis up. So it should be, you know, depending on how long you are, it should be right in the center of that flattest part of your backside, your hips. Shoulders are going to open up. Hands, we're going to open them up wider, and we'll add some balance, more balance to this. So the deal is with this is you can't arch the back. Okay, don't do that. If the ball is adjusted in the wrong place, you may feel like you want to do that. I want you to feel that neutral spine, not a slump in the spine. Okay, not yet. Anyway. Pull the belly like you're pulling it down, that lowest part of the belly into that ball. Okay, arms are wide, palms down. Bring one leg to the tabletop. Without moving that pelvis, lift the other. Okay. So we're going to keep the pelvis still. We're pulling our belly down. Our shoulders are open. And as I'm talking, I'm wobbling. We're not wobbling. And we're going to dip one toe down, keeping the shape of the leg. Don't let that knee straighten. We're just taking that tabletop position and just tipping the leg at that hip joint. Okay, nothing's moving in the pelvis. So keep that belly tight, that lowest part of the belly, especially when that leg dips. We don't want our ribs to pop open. Okay. And we're inhaling, tapping, exhaling. You don't have to go all the way to the floor if it doesn't feel good. Four. I started on the right, so I'm going to go 4. We're doing sets. Use the breath. Pull the ribs together. We got 2 more. Inhale as you dip. Exhale, pull it up. Shoulders are nice and open. Here's your last one. Last set. Pause right here. Wrap your hands around that ball, around the bottom, and let the knees drop into the chest. And just try to kind of stretch it out. So I get a really good curl here, but I don't want the ball to pop out and hit my visitor across from me, my classmate. Okay, so let's line ourselves up, reorganize back to a tabletop. We're doing double leg, okay? So squeeze the inner thighs together, pull the ribs together, pull that belly deep. Don't let the pelvis tip. As you dip those toes down, this should be a lot more work. We kind of warmed up and found our place. Inhale as you tip at that hip joint. So knees are not straightening, toes are pointed or comfortable. Don't flex for this one. And use that breath to draw those knees up. I want you to feel that lowest part of the belly, that part that keeps everything inside us. That's a good thing. All right. Just those little lowest tiny muscles down there. Turn them on. They're in between the hip bones. Inhale, dip. Exhale. We're going to go for 2. We're going to add on. Hold it. Toes are dipped. Extend the legs. Don't let the ribs pop open and draw them up. Bend to tabletop. Dip. Extend. Let's flex as we come up. And then back to tabletop. I forgot to tell you that. Dip with a point. Extend and then flex. Draw the legs up. We're trying to keep our ribs nice and still and tight. Extend as low as it feels good for you. Use the belly to draw those legs up. So as the legs extend, really pull that belly deeper. Reach and flex. We're going to go one more. Dip. Extend. Flex. Draw it up. Set one foot down on the other. Let the knees come into the chest. Pull it back. Moving on, set the ball aside for this one. Oh, my pelvis does not feel good now. It's so hard now underneath. All right, so we're gonna bring our legs to a tabletop, and we're gonna let's start with our left hand behind our head and our right arm extended out to the side. You're in that tabletop, legs can come together. We're gonna reach that right arm that's reaching out to the side. I want you to lift the chin to the chest, reach to the outside of the opposite knee, okay? And just hold it here. Try to keep the pelvis still, don't let the knees dip, and then we'll roll it down, okay? We're gonna go for it. So I always cue this, take that pause at the top and really reach through those fingers. I want you to feel that oblique. And you're maintaining kind of that parallel or level backside. Tailbone stays connected, reach. We're gonna hold it on this last one. Hold it here. Press into that knee, that outside knee. Press in. Lift up a little higher. Take that breath. Hold it. Press a little deeper. It's a static hold. Now you're going to reach that arm out to the side. Keep it where it is. Extend the opposite leg. Lift a little higher. Reach a little farther with the fingers. We're going to bend that leg. Extend the other. Bend it in. Extend. So as you're bending, keep that belly pulling tight. Okay? Don't let yourself pull on the head. Inhale, try to reach a little farther as you're crisscrossing, belly's pulling in, deep, deep, deep. Inhale as the legs come through center, exhale as you extend. Let's go for 4. And 3. And if your head or your neck hurts, lay it down. 1. Come back through center, take the right hand, your chest is lifted, don't break it. Right hand behind the head, left extended out. All you're going to do is lift and reach to the outside. Always feel more. That bottom elbow, the hand that's supporting the head, try to touch that elbow to the floor. Keep it wide. And as you're reaching to the outside now and going right, I want you to keep those knees in that tabletop. And 4. And there's 3. Don't pull on the head. And 2. And last one, hold it here, hold it, hold it. Reach a little farther. Open up that elbow down to the floor. Pull the belly deeper. Extend the opposite leg. And switch. And inhale as you come through center at your tabletop. And then really extend that leg that's reaching away. Touch the opposite side of the room. Lift a little higher. I was just slumping. And 3. And 2. And 1. Come back through center. Roll it down. Place your feet on the floor. Let's open up our arms to that big wide T. Comfortable position. Shoulders are open. Feel those shoulder blades on the mat. Let's bring our knees, feet together, and just let the knees drop to one side. And breathe. And then you're going to exhale, but use that top oblique to draw the knee center. And let's do it the other way. When you're here, we'll settle into the next one. Just kind of work up to that. Kind of like bridging. Your spine a little looser. Pull the belly in as the knees come through center. Let's go to the opposite side again. Feet are stacked. Get into this stretch. Let everything relax. Let the knees drop. And I am going to take my top knee and draw it in toward my shoulder. Let the bottom knee drop if that feels good. And just try to get that stretch that feels right for you. So I'm kind of pulling on my knee, pulling it maybe down more to the floor. That works for me. I want you to stretch. And then line up those knees if you added that little extra stretch, and let's go the other way. So settle the knees first, okay? Open up those shoulders. Feel the knees kind of drop as you relax a little deeper. And then top knee, I'm going to draw it in with my hand that's closest. And as I draw it in, I'm just going to find where I feel the stretch I want. I don't want you to pull too hard. Just find that stretch where you can feel it kind of up that backside oblique. There is an oblique on the backside. Stretch it out. And then line those knees up, come back to center. Let's pull our knees into our chest, kind of find our center again. Let that tailbone come up. And down. We're going to bring that ball in between our knees, okay? And we're going to come over onto our side with bent knees. Okay, so I'm going to line myself up here. I am going to come down to my elbow, but you can come down to the floor. I'm going to start here just so I can make sure I can see everyone. All right, so all I want you to do here is lift up those heels. Toes are going to come together, heels together, okay? And then I'm going to lay down and I'm going to squeeze into that ball and I'm holding it. If you it'll be hard to see that way. Okay, so let's get into position. We're squeezing into that ball and we're lifting that side kind of rib cage and we're straight from the crown of the head all the way to that tailbone. And my top hand is on my hip and I'm squeezing statically. Just hold it tight. Press into that ball. I want you to feel your inner thighs tomorrow. We never get it. It's really hard. So you've got all your belly muscles nice and tight. You're pulling the belly up, lifting it up. Rib cage is up, squeezing to the ball. We're going to lift the knees, okay? So now that top hand can support in the front on the mat, okay? You can come up to your fingers. I want you to use the mat if you need to. We're going to lift those knees up and lower them down. Squeeze into that ball as you're lifting. Try to keep that waistline that's on the mat lifted. I know it's hard. It may make this move a little smaller because you're not wanting to tip the hips as the knees come up. Squeezing into the ball. Now we're going to go for 3 and 2 and 1 and lower the knees down. I'm going to come up to my elbow. It'll be so much fun. You're going to love it. All right, so I am going to say, we never do this, but we're going to tip back. So fun. Right there. I put it up there. If you have bony hips, this can be difficult. All right, so we're going to take the top hand, place it on the hip. We're going to roll over as we lift the knees. Yep. Squeeze into the ball. That top hand can go wherever you want it, on the hip, wherever it's comfortable. Extend the legs. The feet are going to separate, and it's fine to keep them separate. Extend and squeeze. Inhale. Turn on that oblique. That's what's keeping those hips still. Your lowest part of your belly is pulling in, and we're trying not to slouch into that shoulder. That's supporting us. Squeeze the ball. Go for 5 and 4 and 3. Here, squeeze 2 and hold it on 1. Hold it here. Hold it here. We're going to lower the legs and lift. Nothing big here. Inhale. Use that oblique. Squeeze into the ball. Try not to let those knees wobble like I just did. Let's go for 2. And last one. And bend. Oh, no. The ball just adds a little extra kick to everything, right? Okay. I feel my bottom thigh and my oblique, which is what I want. Okay, so knees are kind of slightly bent, right? I like to try to line up my heels with my hips and my shoulder. And I'm going to come down, lifting my rib cage, bottom ribs from the mat. I'm going to lift up my feet, right? My toes and my inner feet are connected to each other, okay? And I'm just going to static hold into the ball. Squeeze it, press, and breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze a little deeper. And take that top hand, place it on the floor. Get yourself situated. I'm going to extend my legs a little longer for me. I'm going to lift my knees and I'm lowering. I'm trying to keep a little squeeze on the ball. Okay, and I'm pushing down into the floor. I don't want to let my hips tip back and forth, and I'm squeezing. Exhale. There's 4. Head is relaxed. 3. There's 2. And hold it up on one. Press yourself up onto that elbow, forearm. Now we're tipped back onto our glute medius, the other side. I'm going to extend my legs and bend. So I'm lifted away from that mat. I'm squeezing into my ball. And 5. I keep having to adjust my ball. 4, 3. Hold it. 2 and 1. Hold it here. What did we do? Hold. Static hold. Static hold. Belly pulls in. Okay, lower the legs and lift. No, we didn't do that. Bend. Lay down. I feel like I forgot something. I'm really sorry.
I don't know what you did.
I can't remember. Gosh, that stinks. Okay. We're going to stretch out our obliques. So I'm going to have you guys come up into a mermaid position, but take your ball with you, okay? So the leg, the side we just worked. I'm going to bring my bottom leg in line with my mat, the one that was on the bottom. I'm going to bend that top knee, place it behind me. Ball is coming out to the side of the knee that's forward. Yeah. There. Yeah. No, you're right. Okay, sorry. Hand is coming to a T. We're going to press into that ball as we arc up and over. Press, press, press down into the ball. Depress the shoulders and then come on it. So I want you to feel the lats. I want you to press that top hip down to the floor and deep, deep pressure into that ball. I want you to feel the triceps, the lats, and that bottom oblique. You should feel it if you're pushing. Up and over it. The ball is nice and squishy. It should feel good. Don't let that shoulder come up. You can press as hard as you want. If you're pulling the shoulders down, you're going to be working that upper back as well. 2, stretch, push into that ball. And last one. And come on up and we'll switch sides. All right. The ball connection adds to that little stretch. So we're just trying to remember that hip that's kind of pushing away, we want to try to keep it down. Hand on that ball, opposite hand to the T, we switch the cross of our leg. We're going to press the ball out, up and over with the arm, and just go slow until you kind of find what works for you. Just remember, no shoulders up to the ears, pull them down. I even adjust the farther I go away. I think draw those shoulders down, press into that ball as you come up. Inhale up and over, hip stays down. And inhale. Really push. I'm going to take you guys into a standing position. We're going to do some lower leg work, some quad work. So as much as I dominate in my quads, I try to work more here, but we definitely need to work there too. So we're going to take the ball in between the knees. I'm going to have a little squeeze on my ball so that I get this inner thigh, but I don't want anyone to kind of bow their legs or let the knees come in. So find the place for you. Knees are going to stay over the ankles. We're going to stand up nice and tall, and we're just going to start with those heel lifts. So if you're on a mat, it'll be harder, okay? Squeeze into the ball as you lift the heels and then lower. Keep that little pressure on the ball. You decide how much, okay? Said we were getting some inner thighs, so we are. Inhale up, exhale down. Go for 5. Pushing into all those toes. I want you to feel the ball of the foot. Squeeze the glutes, lift that belly. 3, keep that belly tight, shoulders down. 2 and 1. Heels are going to go down. Keep that squeeze. We're going to bring the arms long beside us. The knee bend is up to you. Doesn't have to be deep. We're going to sit back into a squat. Squeeze into the ball. Find that place for your feet, what just cracked, and press it up, okay? Inhale, squeeze it down. Exhale, press it up. As you squeeze down, I want you to feel like you're lengthening that spine, sending that tailbone out behind you, and keeping that little Inhale. As my arms go up, I remind myself, pull my shoulders down. And here's 2. And I know I'm gonna mess this one up. And hold it here. We're gonna lift and lower those heels. So squeeze into the ball, lift and lower. You're staying in that deep, deep squat. You're squeezing. Your belly is lifted, ribs are pulling back. Woo. Now let's go for 5 and 4. Knees are the only thing lifting. 3 and 2 and hold it. Oh, 10 little pulses. Hold the ribs back, and of course, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and press yourself up. We'll stretch our quads, okay? Take that ball, set it aside. We're going to go into a lunge stretch. It should feel good, okay? So I'm going to step my foot forward 1 foot. Make the step as big as you need. Hands are going to come to the floor, mat, and I'm going to press my back foot out behind me. Drop that heel toward the floor. Push. I push into my hand to get that bigger push back into the heel. And just breathe. And I need a pedicure so bad. I'm looking at my toes going, ah. Okay, straighten that front leg. You may walk the hands back more alongside the foot. And if you can, lift those toes. So as you're lifting the toes, or if you're just in this stretch and your foot's down, I want you to pull that hip back. So my right leg is extended. I'm pulling my right hip back, lengthening my spine. Okay. Now I'm going to bend into the front knee, take my outer hand to the inside of my foot, okay? And I'm going to open up that knee. So this is like Twister.
Yeah.
So you just want to open that forward knee. And let's bring the hands to the outside of that foot. We're going to step our other foot forward while we're down here. And we'll send that other foot back. Stretch. Boy, now I'm going to rack my brain about what I forgot on my sideline. Sorry, ladies. Text me if you remember. I'm pushing into my mat, pressing my heel down behind me. And then I'm going to straighten my forward leg, only as much as you can. This is a pretty intense stretch. Lifting the toes can make it more intense. I'm going to pull that hip back, thinking of really flattening out, trying to get a stretch all the way up my back side, all the way up through. Step that foot, place that foot down, toes down, hands come to the inside, only go as big as it feels good. But I want you to try to roll to the outside of that foot and really get that inner thigh stretch. So you find where it works for you, drop the hip down, if that's what works. Kind of push into the outside of that foot to open that knee up. Let's straighten the knee, come back to center, but you're not done. You're going to step back into a plank. Okay. And I'm just going to make you hold it just a little bit. Nothing terrible. But I want you to feel like you're reaching the crown of the head over the front of your mat or your fingertips, but you're pulling those shoulders down. And if you feel good, you can drop the hips lower, pulling the belly. And we're going to press the hips straight up to the ceiling, tailbone up, drop the chest down, ears between the biceps. Push into that mat, press the heels down, and just wiggle around till you find your perfect height that feels good. You're really trying to stretch. And we're going to come forward into that plank just for a couple breaths, okay? Get into that form first. Takes me a few seconds. And now I'm going to have you bend the knees, but don't place them on the floor. Walk your hands back. Hands are staying on the floor. We're going to straighten the legs, forehead toward the knees. Drop the head down, let the weight of the head hold that almost like traction in the spine, hands, shoulders relax. If you have the low back problems, you're going to come up with bent knees, or you can come up with a flat back and the arms can reach out to the side. Just a little bend in the knees, pull the belly up, pull the ribs up, and slowly roll up. Nice and And we'll do that flat back one just for a little extra kick. All right, so we're gonna roll ourselves down. Standing tall. Take the inhale and just let the head fall, chin to chest. Think of like that slinky coming down the stairs. Nice and slow, hands are relaxed, shoulders relaxed. You're just trying to roll right down. Hands are gonna land in front of the feet or the shins, however far you go, okay? Now from here, we're gonna bend our knees, okay? And only the deepest bend that feels good for you. I'm gonna pull my shoulders down, my hands are still on the floor. Pull my belly up, bring the arms out to a T, and now straighten my knees and come. That is your low back fix for, it's a different stretch.
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay, drop it. It did feel good. And we did a lot of work where we needed to keep our spine still. I want to stretch it up. So we'll roll it down. It's a total different roll up. And it really does help and get rid of that low back pain if you get that when you roll up. So bend the knees, hands are down on the floor. Straighten the spine, pull the shoulders down. Hands come out to the T, reaching away from each other, fingertips. Press yourself up. And come up to the standing. We're going to sit down. We'll stretch. One more. All right. You guys feel okay? You get enough? Okay. We'll add more glutes to the next one. Okay. So we're tall. I always put my right leg in front. I don't know why. We're just going to reach forward. Curl down as we walk our hands out. I'm in my big curl. My fingertips are reaching from my shoulders. Now I'm going to set my elbows down, lift my chin up, press into my hands, and pull my shoulders down like a turtle, and lengthening my neck coming out of my shoulder. And lift those elbows, tuck that chin, walk yourself back, stack the spine, and switch sides. So we'll go chin to chest, head falls, curl, curl, curl the spine, but the shoulders are trying to stay over the hips. Walk the hands out in that big, deep curl. So really pull the belly back. Now I want you to press into the hands, almost like a big stretch, like you're pressing away and kind of dropping that tailbone to the floor. We're going to bend the elbows, set the elbows down, lengthen the spine, pull the shoulders out of the ears, slide them down the back. Try to feel that stretch. So my leg that's forward, I feel that stretch in my left hip and my left knee. And straighten the elbows, tuck the chin, walk yourself back, rebuild the spine. We're going to do a rotation and then we'll finish. We're done. Okay, so I'm going to cross my legs opposite again. So I stay balanced, okay? And I'm going to just take my hands out to the T, sit up tall, rotate toward one side. Hands are going to come down to the floor. Let's take that forward hand, place it on top of that leg, and maybe a little push into that hand. Rotate around, set those shoulders down, lengthen that spine, and come center, and switch across. Okay for you. Sit up nice and tall to start. Arms come out to a T, reaching those fingers away, rotating at the rib cage as we rotate to the other side. Set the hands down, and then take that forward hand, place it on the knee if you're okay with that. Set those shoulders down. Feel like you're lengthening the spine as you're spiraling the spine. And come back to the center. We're going to do a breath. So hands are reaching out to the side. I'm going to have palms up. Scoop the air up on an inhale. Palms are facing each other. Rotate the palms away as you press down. Shoulders are down. Scoop up the air. Inhale. Sit up nice and tall. Pull the shoulders down. And exhale. Press it away. And you guys are finished. You did it. Thank you. Thank